welcome to the final score. It's Dallas versus Philly week. You feel me? We about to put in that work. Hey, this starts the second half of the year. This our road start right now. We ain't playing around. Hey, after bye week, that's when it gets real. We're gonna put in work. We'll get that later. If anybody else wants to say something about the game first, we're gonna dive into the topic.
This sucks. This truly sucks. Man, I just hope we get that left tackle, Jay. That guard, whatever it was. Man, that left, yo, that boy's getting bodied.
Alright, so to start this show, first topic is Joel Embiid is the first player with 45-15. Baby check. Question. Would you like to explain what you're asking?
Basically, what I'm saying is, I know their game's not really the same. Shaq don't even hit the ocean from anywhere past the paint. But just based off of, like, you know, potential. Everything so beautiful to hate. No.
He's gonna be great, but that Shaq thing might be a reach for now. Until we see him healthy all the time or something like that. Until
if you had to start a team right now and you had to pick a cornerstone center, would you pick Joel Embiid or Karl Anthony Towns?
Cat.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Hands down.
I need somebody who's gonna be there. Sometimes the best ability is what, Jaylen? Availability. Sometimes, you know, Joel Embiid hasn't been the most available player to team when needed. So, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a question that he might not even be the best player in Philly.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons do look good, though. You cannot flex on that brother.
Yo, he ready.
And so, the next topic is Tyrod Taylor has been benched by the Buffalo Bills.
Who's trying to make a playoff run.
Yeah, you got to let him play through that, especially if he's going to be your star quarterback. You know what I mean? You got to let him go through that.
You can't just insert a rookie quarterback in the middle of the thing, in the middle of the season, and y'all just got a new wide receiver that y'all need to try and get Tyrod to jail with. Y'all can't. Y'all picking the wrong time to throw a rookie in there.
The Bills are sitting at 5-4, so
they're in the midst. They actually got a chance to make the playoffs. But when they showed his stats, he had like 10 touchdowns, like 3 or 4 interceptions. And a lot of people are like, well, why is he being benched? And the reason why he's being benched is because we can look no further than Jalen's quarterback, Carson Wentz. Yeah, it's this point in the season. And, yeah, he hasn't really turned the ball over that much, but he's not really putting the ball in the end zone either. Now,
we talking about rookie or Carson Wentz, right?
I'm talking about right now. Carson Wentz leads the league in don't he lead the league in touchdown passes? That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
No, I'm giving him a compliment. Listen when I talk sometimes, okay? It's valuable information. Now, if Carson Wentz would not be tearing up, if Carson Wentz hadn't been tearing up the league and putting the ball in the end zone as much as he does, there's a strong possibility that Tyrod Taylor could still have his starting position.
I see where you're going with this.
Carson Wentz has kind of sort of set the standard. And that, I don't know how many touchdowns Carson Wentz has, but it's like this. If he would have been throwing as many touchdown passes or just remotely close, then he will probably or potentially still have his starting spot. But 10 touchdowns through what, week 10?
Yeah.
That's like a touchdown a week if you're throwing a touchdown a week.
But what's more important, stats or winning? Right now, he has more wins than losses.
That's true. I don't know.
That's like the Cowboys benching Dak Prescott when the Bills and the Cowboys got the same record right now.
I'm actually this question. If at this point in the season, Cam Newton had 10 touchdowns and 3 or 4 interceptions, would you be satisfied?
I mean, it's not ideal, but I'm not going to just insert a rookie that's not proven at all in the midst of a potential playoff run. When the team hasn't been to the playoffs in very many years, you can't just do that and then basically, what if the rookie just has a horrific time and then you're not basically the coach is probably going to try and save face by still placing the rookie in there. He's not just going to take him out after one bad game. So you're probably going to lose like 3 vital games before the coach actually decides to put Tyrod back in the game, because the coach it's going to be a pride thing probably. Coach ain't going to want to just put him back and make himself look stupid like for benching him.
Exactly.
Yeah, this seems like this is a final. Like this might be the end for him or something like that, because this is a huge shift.
The wild thing is, I feel like, didn't Tyrod Taylor sign a new contract this year? Like, wasn't he able to be a free agent this following year, but he stayed with the Buffalo Bills? So, and then he gets benched. So, I mean, I don't really.
So, is it stats or race? That's a good question. I don't really want to avoid it.
Oh man,
it might just be a stats thing. They got smacked by the Saints.
I don't know.
Yeah, cause
they got
it's
smacked.
a little suspect to me.
They didn't score 8 touchdowns.
It's suspect to me. It's very suspect. You know, guys like Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know, he gets opportunity after opportunity. Ryan Fitzpatrick will have 10 interceptions and 4 touchdowns and will still secure the chance
to start
at his starting quarterback position. I don't know. It just seemed a little fishy to me. I don't know what's going on in Buffalo. I don't know if he fit the system or not, but it just seemed a little sus to me.
Now, in the eyes of the other skill position players, like, how do you feel when you trying to gel with a quarterback for 10 weeks, and then, like Mike said, you got a new receiver coming in trying to gel with a quarterback, and then all of a sudden it's just a chemistry change at that point? Like, I know he's struggling, not really putting the ball in the end zone, but when you're 5-4, you're still trying to get, accustomed to your quarterback. And then just a quick switch like that in the middle of the season, it's like, dang, now we got to start all over trying to gel with our quarterback, get our feet down, and when he's going to throw the ball and stuff like that. It's just like a rhythm thing.
Go for that pick.
Hey, if the Cowboys don't win Sunday, that's what I'm calling for.
Pick City.
So, Kristaps Porzingis, also known as the Unicorn, thinks the Knicks are a playoff team. Is this facts?
In the East, anything is possible.
I think the Knicks can go to the playoffs. Porzingis is Porzingis. He's going to be consistent. The X factor in whether or not they'll go to the playoffs, to me, is Tim Hardaway Jr. Mm-hmm. If Tim Hardaway Jr. can continue to produce, then the Knicks are definitely a playoff team. But if he's,
that's the proof I need.
Exactly. If you have no pieces around you, it don't matter how much you're performing. Like, you could think in your eyes you're making the playoffs because you're doing all the work.
They also need Enes Kanter to step up a little more too. If he produces some solid, consistent play, then they could possibly be a 6 seed, a 7 seed, 8 seed, one of those 3. I don't see them past the 6 seed though.
Nah. So basically, they'll either have to play Cleveland, Boston.
Yeah.
Or probably Milwaukee or Toronto first in the first round. So.
I don't know.
They could probably beat the Raptors.
I feel like they could beat Toronto,
Yeah,
too.
they could beat the Raptors. I don't know about any other 3 teams.
The Raptors going to get the 3rd seed.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's either 3rd or 4th between Milwaukee and Toronto.
No, Milwaukee is getting 3rd.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
They might
they just
get
got
second.
Eric Bledsoe.
They might
too.
get second.
They got Eric Bledsoe too.
Honestly, if Detroit is
Detroit.
Detroit is real, then the Raptors are getting 5th seed.
What could throw it off is what Cleveland gets, because Cleveland could be anywhere and
Cleveland don't care. I feel like if I'm a 1 seed and Cleveland goes to the 8th seed, I'm pretty angry.
So let's say
I'm a little upset.
So Boston has won 14 in a row. Let's say Boston is 1 seed and Cleveland's 8th seed. Can Boston beat LeBron 4 times?
No.
Who got home?
Not
Who got
this year.
home advantage?
Boston would, because they would be the 1 seed.
They probably can, yo. They going crazy. And they don't even have Gordon yet.
Yes.
Look,
They don't even got Gordon yet, yo.
And LeBron
And
James.
they just beat Golden
But
State.
LeBron playoffs versus LeBron regular season, it's a whole different.
And the regular season.
He's gonna need the other players to.
They probably just throwing the games.
I've
for
seen
real.
a Derrick Rose-less Bulls sweep those Miami Heat teams in the regular season and not win one game in the playoffs against LeBron James. It does not matter what seed LeBron James is. His team is going to the finals this year. It will be very competitive in the Eastern Conference Finals. But when it's time for LeBron James to lock in the playoffs, those boys will be ready. The basketball season is a waste of time because we know the two teams that are going to the finals.
I don't think that's true.
I don't know, man. I'm ready for the season this year. I'm at least, you know what I mean.
I don't even think the Warriors
It's a
are
better
locked
chance.
in yet.
And Jaylen Bayless, you said a lot of things that have went completely left, and that's why we don't listen to you anymore. Okay.
But I did say in the beginning of the year that
OKC,
Philly was gonna be nice. And what are they? Okay.
Of course you said that. You say that every year. Even when y'all aren't nice, you say that.
I don't remember
That's
ever
a horrible
saying.
example.
I don't remember ever saying that we were good last year.
You said y'all were going to be good because you had Carson Wentz last year, and then what happened? You said you are also the same person that said the Cowboys would lose every game on an 11-game win streak. You said that. I didn't say it. You said it.
My bold predictions are right.
Facts.
That's not facts. That's not facts.
Yes,
Look,
it
every
is.
time,
Nah,
Jaylen,
man.
I can go through a list. I can go through all the tape, and I'm telling you, Jaylen has been wrong at least about 75% of the time he opens his mouth. 75. Now, I'm being modest here because it could be about 98. But I got a lot of respect for you. I really do. I really do. And I don't want to turn this to a Cowboys versus Philly or Bulls versus Golden State thing. So let's just move on to the next topic because I'll serve you up later. Okay? Thank you.
All I gotta do is say the record speaks for itself. All right.
Karl Anthony Towns believes medical marijuana should be legalized in the NBA.
I feel like he should have kept that to himself.
He should have kept that to himself. If he is subject to a random drug test, he brought it on himself. I hope he does not fail the random drug test.
Yes.
But you can kind of sort of tell where his head is at. You would like to see this said by somebody like LeBron James.
Yes.
Somebody who's a little bit great. You know, somebody like Pau Gasol, Mike Conley, somebody who's been in the league for a long time that can say stuff like this. Big Cat, you're not established enough to say that. You're too young right now.
What's the big deal on it, though? I mean, it's getting legalized in like all these other states.
Either.
I don't think it's really a big problem, but maybe like y'all said, him being the one to say it, it's unlikely. I don't really hear him talk a lot, so for him to speak on this, it's like what?
That's the thing, like,
I feel like the problem would be like that, like organizations would bring up would be like focusing and like being more prepared. That's the only issue I could possibly see.
and they would have to set major regulations like when you could smoke, like how early before the game or after the game can you smoke, where can you smoke, and like what if some of your teammates don't smoke, but can you smoke in the locker room? Like
it would cause tension between players probably. So it's probably best to not even bring it.
But like Quan,
I think eventually though it's gonna have to be brought into the league because it's just like it's different states that's legalizing marijuana. So after a while, you got certain players on certain teams who can smoke. You got certain players on other teams who can't smoke. So it's just like eventually the NFL and the NBA are both going to have to say, hey, look, are we going to legalize medical marijuana? Yes or no?
like Quan said, Karl Anthony Towns don't really speak that much. He's not really in the media that much. So for him to get media attention and this be the topic is just kind of like
it's spooky.
Yeah, it's like suspect. Like, is he? Yeah.
All right, so next up we have Jaylen's brother, LiAngelo Ball, and his teammate. His teammate suspended indefinitely by UCLA. How long do y'all think this?
What is his Like, is he a sophomore? Like,
he a freshman. So I already know where Trey was going with it, and I agree with him. He's like this indefinite suspension.
Yeah.
I feel like if UCLA start losing a couple games,
appeal.
Hey,
we feel like he's proven to the league and to the school and to the NCAA that he understands what he's done. He he gets it. He promises that he won't. Blah 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 blah. Look. If you want to bring back after 2 games, just bring back after 2 games.
Just go ahead.
With your weak indefinite suspension, it's really pointless. I just feel good for the other 2 guys because their indefinite suspension is going to be a lot shorter now because they got suspended with LiAngelo Ball.
Exactly.
It really is.
Exactly. Because if it was just them.
Oh, yeah, they be toast. Look, we're taking the scholarships right back. We're gonna need those.
Pack your bags.
Who's going to have a better career, Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid?
If Ben Simmons gets his shot, he's gonna have a better career.
Yeah, if Ben Simmons get a jumper, it's over.
I feel like if Embiid is healthy, it's gonna be Embiid. I look at Embiid and I see like no one can stop him.
He is a problem.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why I think I gotta go with Embiid too. For the simple fact is, I think he gave Draymond 30. I think he also gave
he cooked
Andre Drummond. It wasn't Draymond. He cooked DeAndre Jordan and Andre Drummond. He cooked both of them. And then when he saw Julius Randle,
my God.
He licked his fingers and said barbecue chicken. And he gave him 45, 15, 7, and 7.
And the thing
is, that's 2K stats.
Ben Simmons has, a lot of options to put the ball in the basket. Joel Embiid just says, give me the ball on the block. I'm going to do the same thing every possession, and you're not going to stop me.
Yo,
that's true too,
he gave Julius Randle this little dream shake. I said, oh my God.
Man, it just depends who stay healthy longer.
But
health and basically.
And if Ben Simmons gets shot.
Yeah.
If health, if both of them can consistently remain healthy, it's going to be fun to watch. I don't know who's going to take it, but it'll be very fun to watch.
Because also, that man, LaMarcus was nasty at first, but then people figured out how to stop him. So, Joel Embiid could be, unstoppable right now, but eventually...
Just don't get traded.
That, and he's gonna have to make sure he adds, other dimensions, too. I know he got that shot. He got somewhat of a shot, but he still got to add a bunch of.
Karl Anthony Towns.
I don't know. I just honestly think at this point he just got to add post moves because if you look at it now, he can shoot.
His
the
footwork
three.
crazy.
Yeah, he can shoot
footwork
the three.
is crazy.
Yeah.
He can shoot the 3. He can take you on the block. He got a face up game. He can take you on. He
just got to master it.
None. It ain't really. Yeah,
if he master it, it's over.
That's all it is.
Yeah, he just got to master it.
He pulled out a dream shake and Julius Randle jumped. He really pulled it out.
One.
Yeah, and he got the and one. He really pulled it out. So it's just it's not like he had a limited offer. Oh, he can only shoot 3s, or he can only get you on the block. He has no range. No, he can.
Yeah, he can do all that.
He can do everything.
But I'm saying he can't fall in love with one of them.
Yeah, he definitely got to expand.
Colin Kaepernick, GQ Citizen of the Year.
Lit.
Is he deserving?
I think he definitely deserves it. I saw the photo shoot and I loved it. That was the best photo shoot I had ever seen. I loved the concept. I loved everything about it. The outfit changes. It was amazing.
So, how y'all feel about him still not being on an NFL team? All these quarterbacks going down.
Honestly, I feel like we should probably just say.
I was about to say, y'all think his career is done, for real now?
I'm an advocate and just continue, expanding upon what he's doing right now. I think he should just forget the NFL because he's already made his mark. And
yeah, we forget he been in the Super Bowl and everything.
Yeah. I was about to say people talk bad about him, but it's a lot of stuff that he's done that some people quarterbacks haven't even done yet.
Exactly, they
say
he's trash, but he's been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I looked at his stats and stuff. He only played 4 years. He only played 4 or 5 years, really though, which is sad. But yeah, I think he should might as well just give it up at this point. I'm not even mad about it anymore. I'm kind of over it. I'm just glad to see that he's getting some type of recognition for what he's done.
I feel like what he's doing now is better
Yeah, indeed.
And also, you know, NFL basically that John messes up your head, you getting ranked, and he's too big of a pivotal role like outside of football, and he's like becoming a like advocate, all this stuff for kids, all this. I feel like he should just walk away from football.
And with him being a quarterback, you know, he definitely would take a lot of hits during his career if he was ever back in the league.
Especially going against that Cowboys defense.
And you could also face targeting and all this.
You know, see, Mike knows this hand in hand with quarterbacks getting hit in the head.
I'll wait. Yeah, they be trying to punk Cam Newton,
killed.
He's back to MVP for I see it.
Could he win MVP?
No, not this year.
Not this year.
You already know who MVP this year.
No,
but we're gonna go to the we're gonna go to NFL preview. There's a lot of good games this week as we get deeper in the season. The first game is the two most surprising teams in the league. You got the LA Rams sitting at 7-2 at the 7-2 Vikings. Who gets the W?
I like to go for that boy Ty Gurley from the University of Georgia. Let's get it.
I'm going with the Vikings.
The Rams be smacking teams so much. I feel like they're the highest scoring team in the league right now.
I think they are the highest scoring team in the league.
Jared Goff's transition kind of looks like Carson Wentz's. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. We were the top two quarterbacks taken in the draft in 2016, and it's well-deserving. Best two quarterbacks in that draft. That's why they were taken so high, and we're showing it right now. That could possibly be the NFC Championship game versus the best quarterbacks in that draft.
Best quarterback in the 2012 draft.
You know, it's crazy that, you know what? I'm not even going to go there with you. He said that to get a reaction out of me. I'm not going to give you a reaction because my mother once told me to ignore ignorance and do not acknowledge it with a response, so I will not. But I'm taking the Rams, and, yeah, that's pretty much it. So the next game, we got the 4-5 Redskins at the 7-2 Saints. The Saints are
the Saints that good?
I seen them last week.
This one of them years for the Saints where their offense is really clicking and is really messing a lot of teams up.
The Saints ran over Buffalo last week.
Last week.
It
was sad.
It's a fact. they wouldn't play in 2 years in a row.
It was slaughter.
Redskins take a loss.
The Saints put up 47, and Drew Brees did not have a touchdown pass.
And it was all rushing. Drew Brees had a rushing touchdown though.
Yeah. That's insane.
The moment the Saints find a way to put up without Drew Brees touchdowns, yeah. Redskins lost. Sorry for everybody in Virginia and all that. Redskins lost.
Because the team is trash.
Next up, you got the team that's good every year. 7-2 Patriots at the 4-5 Raiders, who are pretty disappointing this year.
With the quarterback that beat. Never mind. So the Patriots 7-2 at the 4-5 Raiders. I'm taking the Patriots.
I got Pats.
Yeah, Patriots. I'm disappointed in the Raiders.
I really am too. I really thought those boys gonna be high flying.
I was looking forward to them doing what they did last year, picking up from it. It's sad to see that he got hurt, Derek Carr, because they could have had a very, very good playoffs.
I heard that was staged too. Like the Derek Carr injury, I heard they allowed him to get injured, like his offensive line.
Oh.
Yeah, they let him get injured.
That's
I don't know if we could dip into that a little bit later.
Yeah, that's definitely some stories about that is definitely going to come out. Cause
Patriots definitely winning this by at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Now the game of the week, and not because Dallas in it, because they always get the game of the week for some reason. But
boy, don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you don't know. We are the show. Look, the thing is, the ratings for this game was going to be here regardless of whether or not it was Philly in this slot or the Miami Dolphins in this slot. The Cowboys are playing, and that's just facts. And you know this. We are the money team, okay?
Anyways,
If the Cowboys make the Super Bowl, I'm telling you, it will be the highest rated Super Bowl in the past since the last time the Cowboys made the
playoffs first. All right, so
he want a reaction.
This is the game of the year right here. At least for Philly fans, because every win
because this is your Super Bowl.
Every win we've gotten, it's always
Super Bowl.
Been, oh, y'all haven't played Dallas yet, but like we supposed to be.
I mean, even with that, you still won't get a chance to play Dallas until week 17.
We're 8-1. There's 4 teams in the NFC we gotta worry about. The 7-2 Rams, the 7-2 Vikings, and the 7-2 Saints, and the Panthers. Only because they played us really well, and we should have lost that game. Any East team, any NFC team that I did not mention is irrelevant to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wait on it.
The thing is, though, even when y'all play us on Sunday, you really won't even be playing us because we're not full strength.
So it doesn't matter. We're just going to get an extra win.
I wish Jerry Jones
Y'all,
didn't come at the
Dallas got waxed last week versus a team that Julio Jones did put up 2 fantasy points. I know because I was playing the opponent that had him, and y'all still got ran through.
I wish Jerry Jones
Man, I told you it's that left tackle, though.
Oh, my God.
He gave up. We gave up 8 to. I think we gave up 8 to 10 sacks.
Claiborne, y'all think the Falcons' defensive line is nice?
Bro, that tackle was garbage.
We had our left tackle.
Wait,
Okay.
hold on.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, you hear what he said? If we had our left tackle,
Right.
Jason
we would've gave word.
Jason Peters tore his knee earlier in the year, and Carson Wentz still seems to be pretty fine. He's still standing up right in the pocket. So
that's y'all. We don't have our left tackle. Y'all can obviously manage without y'all's. We can't manage without ours. He's all pro. We also have a all pro running back who is missing from the game as well.
Jerry Jones' fault. He shouldn't have came at the commissioner.
So all right. So those 2 things. So how actually good is that?
I'm about to keep it 100. If we had the left tackle, we would have won, and we would have beat y'all.
If we
Straight up.
with Ezekiel
Without no
Elliott,
left tackle, I'm sorry, y'all probably gonna win.
with Ezekiel
We could have
Elliott,
managed without
Tyron
Zeke, for real.
Smith. Yeah, we probably
That's
could
just
manage without
facts.
Zeke, but without the left tackle, we
So the left tackle is the best player on your team.
no, but
he
he's,
makes
he's
that
pretty
big
good.
I'm saying
pretty good.
I'm saying if
Okay.
you don't even put your hands on the man to block and you let him run past you every snap, and y'all don't make no switch at no left tackle at all. I mean, anybody can get sacks. I never heard of the dude that got 8, 5, 7 sacks or whatever. I've never heard of that
I tried to
man.
be calm, but Jaylen got this grin on his face like Eli Manning, and I'm about to unleash the beast.
Oh, eyes closed.
on
Alicia,
him.
we got to stay on this game.
Now, what I don't understand is, you know, that our offensive line is talked about like some of the highest paid skill players.
Yes.
Tyron Smith is a big part of that. He's the, what do I want to say? He's the Shaq to the Kobe's and the Derek Fishers of our offensive line. Okay, he's necessary, and without him, our offense is very hard. It's hard for our offense to go. And then when you stack him in out with the fact that your best running back, the best running back in the NFC East and the NFC, you put that right there. That's going to make a big difference. But I know you're a Philly fan, and it's this theory where after a while, when you lie to yourself more than one time, you begin to believe that it's actually true. And so he believes that despite Tyron Smith, an all-pro left tackle, and despite an all-pro running back being out, that this game is still fair because that's what he believes.
This relates back to what was cameraman Dan said last week. Jason Garrett is trash as a coach. As a coach, you need to adjust to what you're missing. And, you don't just give up on your whole game plan just because you don't have a left tackle. When you develop players all year to back up your startors.
Y'all went
no
7-9 last year.
No
7-9. You're officially under my skin because I'm pissed. I'm pissed right now. I'm literally. I just cannot take it. Y'all go around as Philly fans and act like everything Philly has done has been a pillar of greatness or the building block to championships. Y'all haven't done anything. When the last time y'all won a Super Bowl? When is the last time you won a playoff game? When the last time you been to the playoffs? Please. The last time y'all went to the last time y'all won a playoff game was 2006. It is 2017, Jaylen. You went through high school and you're about to graduate college. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? You can't be. This Philly fans, y'all talk and y'all trash Cowboys fans so much for everything that we say. but y'all act exactly like us, and you don't have half the resume that my team has. What gives y'all the right to call Jason Garrett a trash coach when none of your coaches have ever won a Super Bowl or have... Okay.
Same as Jason Garrett. What are you saying?
2009, 2014, and last year. What is that? 3 times that Jason Garrett has won the NFC East. How many times did Doug Peterson win the NFC East?
This is his second year as the Eagles
Okay,
coach.
and what gives Doug Peterson and the Philadelphia Eagles fans the right to call Jason Garrett trash? Because there's been plenty of times where Doug Peterson did not adjust. Because y'all went 7-9. So it's no way in your route to 7-9 that he coached every game perfectly. Because had he done so, y'all would have won a lot more games last year. You lost the game to Dallas that was in the bag. But Doug Peterson coached y'all. And when y'all collapsed on Sunday night, that was perfect coaching, right? Because Doug Peterson does everything great. I don't understand. I really don't. I really don't. Now, I'm a realistic Cowboys fan, and I give it to y'all. Y'all boys playing some really good football this year. But y'all not going to keep coming at Jason Garrett like he a bad coach. Because y'all just went 7-9 last year with the best quarterback, arguably, according to Jaylen Brinson, in the draft last year. The same quarterback that has more interceptions than a 4th-round draft pick. The same quarterback that did not make the playoffs with the greatest head coach that, once again, did not make the playoffs. I don't get it. I don't get it. Then everybody want to talk about Jerry Jones. But your front office hired Chip Kelly. What? I don't get it. What is it? What makes y'all so great? What makes y'all so great? You don't have the history that makes you great. You don't have the present tense that makes you great. But y'all sit at 8-1. A hint of success. Yes, y'all playing good. Yes, you have the best record in the NFL. Hooray. But you are the same Philadelphia Eagles fan that predicted the Cowboys to lose in the playoffs because we had no experience. But Carson Wentz, no experience, and he's going to lead the Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl victory. Torrey Smith is the only one on your team that has playoff and Super Bowl experience. Not even your number 1 receiver. Not even your offensive line. Not even your head coach. I don't get it. I don't. I really don't. Jaylen, come to me as a real fan, realistically, take out all bias, please. Because, honestly, it's ridiculous. As an Eagles fan, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
All right, so, like, after that rant, that's why...
Quote from you. I don't want to hear about what cameraman Dan got to say. Let Jaylen talk. Let Jaylen talk. Are you cameraman Dan's mouthpiece or what?
Talk about, I don't think you heard cameraman Dan out my mouth since
you said cameraman Dan said last week that Jason Garrett was a trash coach. You just said that.
You
just said that. Please say. Can I get some original from Jaylen? I need original content from Jaylen Brinson. That's what I need.
I like to use quotes. I'm sorry that I use quotes. I'm sorry it angers you, but I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with my conversation in a well-mannered way. Okay, so Mike. Like Mike said, you know, in the NBA, you need time to develop when you come in as a coach, what you go into is the product of the previous coach before you. So Doug Peterson went 7-9 coaching a Chip Kelly squad. Every piece that he's brought in this offseason is his decision. This 8-1 is Doug Peterson's team. He needed a year to develop this is his team. What he coached last year was Chip Kelly's downfall and what he did to Philly after he destroyed the whole team. This is what I have to say about Jason Garrett. If you really have to depend so much on a left tackle, when people's offensive line gets hurt every year, there is no excuse that your left tackle gets hurt and you can't adjust to it. And game plan-wise, if you don't have a left tackle, you don't run plays in the direction of the left tackle. You roll your quarterback out. You run to the direction of the right tackle. You make adjustments. If you really depend on a left tackle that much and you cannot adjust where a player gets 5 sacks on them, your game plan and your tactics are trash. You did not make adjustments to losing your left tackle.
Man,
now,
I'm about to start
let us finish.
I'm pretty sure after we lost Jason Peters, our season was supposed to collapse. Like Trey said, y'all lost your left tackle. Y'all lost your middle linebacker. Your season is going to collapse. I don't think that's happened because Doug Peterson makes adjustments.
So, in Doug Peterson's second season, he's a better head coach than Jason Garrett.
No one said that.
Oh, okay. I'm just
no
making
one
sure.
Said that.
Last year, you won 79. Before
Okay.
that, y'all were actually pretty doggone good before going 79. What happened when y'all season collapsed? What caused it to collapse? What offensive line went down for your season to collapse? Lane Johnson went down. Before Lane Johnson went down, y'all were above 500. Then you lost a ton of games. And when Lane Johnson came back, you ended the season on a winning streak. Am I right? Am I right?
We're not.
Oh, we're not talking. What are we not doing?
That's not. We're not putting that.
We're not putting it on there.
We're not. Just because we lost, we're not a team that's
going to. It's the same thing, Jaylen.
Look,
what's the difference?
I don't know about Dallas's culture, but we don't put games on people that we like. Just because we lost them, we lost. I have never said that Philly lost because we didn't have somebody.
Losing an all-pro left tackle and an all-pro running back means nothing when our team depends on offense to win games?
Have we not lost a all-pro? Is Jason Peters?
So it doesn't mean
is Jason
so
Peters,
losing
is Jason Peters an all-pro left tackle?
I don't know.
Yes, he is.
I don't know.
Yes, he is. He's been in the league longer than Smith, whatever his name is.
All I can say is, for real, is when you lose, you definitely can nitpick on what went wrong. And what went wrong was that left tackle. Like, you can't get no running game, you can't get no passing game if you getting rushed every single play and he's not blocking.
I'm
but
trying to figure out
but this is the thing. I don't know why they didn't switch him out. I don't know. I'm not the coach. I'm not on the squad or nothing. But I'm just saying, if you look at the game and you watch the game, you can see where it went wrong, and that's where it went wrong.
So is Claiborne that good?
I doubt it. I doubt it. I've never heard of him until after that game.
So why is this not happening to our left side of our offense?
Well, we just went out with ours.
Okay, this is what Jaylen wanted to hear. I'm not getting on my knees because I know that's what you want me to do. I'm not getting on my knees.
I'm just trying to figure out.
Maybe, just maybe, your backup left tackle is better than our backup left tackle. Is that what you want me to say?
Maybe our coaching staff developed our backup left tackle, then y'all's coaching staff developed y'all's backup left tackle.
So
Jaylen,
it's a development thing now?
Jaylen, you know what? It's nothing else that I have to say about this game. I'm picking the Cowboys to win. What do you have to say? Because regardless,
man, I hope you win after this, yo. I really hope y'all win after this.
Honestly, talk until I'm.
I really hope y'all win.
I can talk till I'm purple in the face, but honestly, it won't matter. Quite frankly, I'm pissed off because some of the stuff that comes out of Philly fans' mouths are just utterly ridiculous. Now me,
like y'all too.
Now me on the other hand, I don't mind keeping it real. You know what I mean? I don't. If Carson Wentz was to get knocked out for the whole season and the Cowboys was to manage to come back and win, I will honestly say that Carson Wentz is the reason why the Cowboys lost. I mean, there's the reason why Philly lost. And Carson Wentz has no accolades on his resume. None at all. We're not calling him anything because he hasn't done anything. But for you to sit up here and say that an all-pro left tackle and an all-pro running back to a team that's known for offense that puts up 30 points a game means absolutely nothing is honestly ridiculous, Jaylen. It really is. I don't know if you was trying to go for reaction because you got your reaction. I don't know if you believe this is actual facts. I don't believe it's actual facts. We just on two different sides of the spectrum here. It's ridiculous. It honestly is. And you know what? Jaylen, I'm telling you, y'all better win the Super Bowl. You better win it. You better win it. You better win it. Because if you do not win it, Jaylen, I promise you, it's going to be the longest offseason. I don't want to hear we made the playoffs because it will not amount to nothing. You want to know why it won't amount to nothing, Jaylen? Because when the Cowboys made the playoffs last year, guess what? It didn't mean nothing, right? Right. So if you do not win, I don't want to hear 5 NFC Championship games. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear we made the NFC Championship game. I don't want to hear we made it to the Super Bowl. If you do not win it, Jaylen, I'm telling you, I'm going to crucify you on every platform possible. I promise you, it's going to be a long offseason. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I don't know what you got to say. But you can go ahead and close this segment out, and we can go ahead and move on to the next game. Finish with your closing.
At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because I remember a lot of things. And I remember at the beginning of the year that, our signing of Torrey Smith and LeGarrette Blount and Alshon Jeffrey was all trash. It was all trash. It was meaningless. We play in the preseason. That's all that matters. We can win in the offseason, but what do you actually do in the season? I'm pretty sure all the pieces that we're putting together has cost is greatness. And I can't get that trade to say that.
Greatness?
Trey, I'm pretty sure that you didn't think we were going to be 8-1. Cause you think we trash. You think we so trash. You think we're trash.
I don't necessarily count y'all out, but let me see it first before I'm just like, oh my God,
I feel it.
I know I can't.
Oh
cuss.
my God.
I know I can't cuss on the radio, but I just.
Oh, I was tempted. I was tempted. I'm telling you.
Till we bust Dallas. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's gonna be no remorse. I don't give a if they have Zeke or whatever Smith. It don't matter. I don't care about none of y'all's pittiness. I don't care.
I know.
I don't need pity.
I knew that it didn't matter whether or not we was full strength when Jaylen got hype about beating the Cowboys when we set all our stars in week 17 of last year. So you don't have to explain nothing to me. I already know how you get down. But I'm telling you, I could care less about the rest of the season. I don't know how it's going to play out. We make it to the playoffs and we face y'all, get your popcorn ready. If we don't, then we don't. Cowboys just be ready next season. But I'm telling you, my eyes is on Philly attentively until February. I'm telling you, you better win the Super Bowl. If he does not hoist that Super Bowl ring, that championship, that Lombardi trophy, the season is a bust. And yes, I'm carrying it like that. Why? Why am I carrying like that? They improved from 7-9 to they're now 8-1, Trey. They should get some respect, right? Well, no, because improving from 4-12 to 13-3 with 2 rookies leading the way to a first-round bye and a number 1 seed didn't mean nothing. So we're going to keep that same energy, okay, Jaylen? We're going to keep that same energy. So remember this conversation because it is going to come back and it is going to haunt you for as long as we do this show, because I promise you, I remember a lot. And I promise you, I will quote you correctly, and I will not do it incorrectly. And I promise you, Jaylen, when I serve it up on a hot one, it is going to feel so good. Almost as good as the time when you said that Frank Mason would not get drafted. It's going to feel so good. I'm telling you. Jaylen, y'all don't win the Super Bowl. I'm telling you. I'm going to be annoying. Matter of fact, if I had the password to your phone, I would block me right now. Because I'm telling you, I'm going to call, text, Snap, FaceTime, Instagram Live, Twitter, all that every day. Every day. It's going to be annoying.
I didn't know
because Jaylen.
Trey cared this much about Jason Garrett. I got all this out of saying Jason Garrett is a trash coach.
Because what kills me is it's like this. It's like this. All right. I can't say somebody else's kick game is trash if I don't have a kick game myself. You don't have the right. Yes, because your head coach hasn't done anything. The one before that didn't do anything, and the one before that did a little something. So Andy Reid, he gets my respect. 5 NFC Championship games, okay, but you still didn't win it. You still didn't win anything. Chip Kelly, he didn't do nothing. Doug Peterson hasn't done jack. And yet, Jason Garrett gets called trash. And he's actually won the NFC East 3 times. That's more than your 2 head coaches has ever.
I'm sorry your season's over because your left tackle's hurt. It's all right. He'll be available next year.
Okay.
Whoa. I wouldn't say that.
I'm not gonna argue with you. I can care less at this point. I've proven my point. Whether or not Jaylen want to take the point or whether Mike want to take the point, I don't know.
Mike, you didn't even.
Man, y'all better bust us next week.
I'm just saying.
Y'all better win by 30.
Mike, I want to hear your opinion.
Y'all might have to win by 30 talking like that.
Mike, matter of fact, this ain't got nothing to do with you. Mike, I'm going to go ahead and let you say what you got to say. Do you think?
Okay. I feel like the game would be a better game if if Zeke was at least playing. But I mean, you can still like have like the rivalry because it's at the end of the day it's always gonna be rivalry. It's Eagles versus Cowboys, and you can still have bragging rights because at the end of the day, it's a game. This game, when someone goes down, the next person has to step up. It's not like you're gonna have the same guy for the next 20 years, like that. Not everybody's Brent Favre. You're not gonna be 20 years in the league. So basically, I feel like the next guy needs to find a way to step up, or they should be like rotating, at least coming up with different type of lineup changes, switching around like that. That's what they should be doing. I don't know if they have because I don't be looking at their lineup like that. I don't know if they've done offensive line changes. But for example, Carolina, every year our linemen go down. Matt Khalil been out for I don't even know. We still be switching up the lineups, stuff like that.
Cam Newton be getting punished every game and still finds a way to lead the Panthers to the playoffs.
Exactly. Like
every game.
Like at the end of the day, Dak needs to just find a way to step up with it and be able to deliver. Because Cam found a way to deliver with 7-1 with his running backs. I mean, not 7-1, 7-3 with his running backs averaging 2 yards a carry. Now, I'm pretty sure that the next guy after Zeke would probably do it like either that or better, a little bit better. Our running backs have been trashed this year besides last week, and we're still at a good record. Matt Khalil's been hurt. I'm not saying necessarily that Jason Garrett is a bad coach, but at the same time, his players need to find a way to step up because at the end of the day, it's always next up. It's their time to try and become. It's their time to try and shine. So at the end of the day, you can say yes because your running back and your left tackle's out that has an impact on the game because it does. It's always gonna have an impact on the game. But at the same time, the next guy needs to step up.
I agree. My point is, I'm not worried about Zeke not playing. That don't really. I mean, if he out, he out. Somebody just got to step up. But I was just saying, because we can play without Zeke. Like, it don't matter who really in the backfield. Like, if our line was that good, is that good. Like, everybody keeps saying it is. Like, we that good. But, I mean, to have your star, like, left tackle or whatever out, and he getting bullied. Like, I was watching the footage, dog. Like, off the snap, hands just down. His hands aren't even up. Like, he's not even putting hands on him. As soon as he go past, he just go past. And then it's like that disrupt your quarterback. He young. He has to run every play he was running, or like the running game won't really like that. So, but I mean, like if we would have got, I'll say like if we would have had a solid tackle, anything could have happened at that point, whether Zeke is back there or not.
Do y'all have like out of all y'all other like tackles and guards, do y'all have like at least like one guy that's been a backup that's proven himself like over?
Probably not, honestly, no. Because I know we already had some switches. We had somebody retire.
Yeah, I'm saying like some people you could probably move him over. Like that guy doesn't need to play another game in this fucking.
Yeah, I don't want to see him on the field no more.
That guy doesn't need to play another game in this league. But if he's gonna play like that, they need to switch another backup to left tackle or something like that. They need to try something in practice.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, but they just need to get it together. But it is what it is.
So. Next up, we got the Falcons at the Seahawks.
Is Freeman still injured, ain't he?
I believe so.
Yeah, we popped them, but you know.
Both of the teams have been disappointing this year on their losses, so I don't really know.
I'm going with Falcons though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I know that the Seahawks lost a pretty good cornerback, but we'll see how Pete Carroll adjusts.
I love getting under the Cowboys fans. But I'm going to go with Seattle in this game. Just because they're at home, it's hard to beat Seattle in Seattle. Next up, we got the NBA preview.
Woot woot.
The 7-7 Thunder visit the 9-6 Spurs without Kawhi, but I believe Kawhi's coming back in like a week or so. I'm going to go with the Thunder.
Hoodie Mellow.
I'm going to go with the Thunder.
Next up, we have a hot DeMarcus Cousins and the New Orleans Pelicans visiting the Denver Nuggets. The Pelicans are 8-7, and the Nuggets are 8-6, and the Nuggets are one of those young teams that have a lot of talent around them, just like the Lakers and the 76ers. So, and they're proven. And Mike also has talked a lot about the Nuggets.
I'd say the Nuggets pull it out.
I got Pelicans.
I'll take the Pelicans.
Hey, ain't DeMarcus and Anthony Davis, they averaging like 25 and like 10?
I say Joe gets 10.
Golly.
And they find a way to win. It's going to be a close game, I feel like. And I feel like the Nuggets pull it out.
So next up is the out-of-pocket segment. I don't even know if I want to do it, but I gotta do it because there is no remorse on this show. I'm gonna go ahead and give Trey the out-of-pocket segment for losing his composure on live broadcast. It finally worked. You know, I do this all out of fun and games. I don't really try to get anybody too upset. But I guess the Jason Garrett would just lit the flame.
Had to. It was coming, though. You already know.
Yeah, it was
You already
definitely long
know.
overdue.
It was a ticking bomb.
I'm getting tired of mediocrity being appreciated over, with some substance. And so, yeah, from now on, Philly fans, Jaylen has catapulted you all as the number one hated team for me. I used to hate the Redskins so much, but now I might have dinner with the Redskins fan. But as far as Philly fans, I promise you, if I see that you are inadequate to debate me, if I see that you don't know what you're talking about, I'm going to attack you. And I just will not let you live in the same conversation with me any longer. Philly fans, this is one great season for y'all, and y'all won't let it go. And so, as I've always done, I'm just going to throw rings in your face. And until y'all win 5 rings, I'm going to continue to throw these rings in your face. And until y'all win a playoff game for one time in 10 years, I'm going to continue to throw the fact that we beat y'all in 2009 and ended an era in Philly. I'm going to throw it in your face. I'm going to throw the fact that Jason Garrett survived 2 head coaches because we saw Andy Reid exit with Jason Garrett. We also saw Chip Kelly exit with Jason Garrett. And now Doug Peterson, he's here. Maybe he'll be a placeholder. Maybe he won't. We don't know. But we will see. And, yeah, that's just how it is.
All right, before I touch on my Philly fans, I'm just going to say this, that I believe Wade Phillips was there the majority of Andy Reid's stint in Philly. But
and who took over? And because I know you talk about how people have to take over during tough situations. And so I know that Doug Peterson had a whole offseason to take over for Chip Kelly. But you don't, once again, because Jaylen, a lot of times you don't reciprocate the same energy that you have for Philly for Cowboys. So I'm going to, let me school you right quick because you may not be aware. So if you don't know, Wade Phillips started the season 1-7, right? We got clapped by the Green Bay Packers. And that's when Jason Garrett took over mid-season. I know you don't remember that, but pretty much Wade Phillips was doing a trash job, and he was leading us astray from the path of greatness. And Jason Garrett brought us to a team that can kind of sort of contend. And he would be more winning as a head coach, barring some stuff. And I know that you give Doug Peterson this cushion because he's a second-year head coach. But Jason Garrett is also, not a second-year head coach, but he also had to take some time to grow and groom himself as a head coach as well, because I know that you don't necessarily see the same things that I see or give Cowboys the same excuse that Philly gets, but it is what it is. And I'm telling you this from the bottom, okay? Jaylen. That rant that I had on air, it was very unnecessary, but it was necessary too, because for some reason Philly fans walk around with their chest poked out as if they've just won a lot, and I don't get it. I really don't get it. Now, where does this confidence stem from? because this ain't got nothing to do with being biased or anything. I honestly want to know where does this strong confidence come from? And I don't want to hear in your argument. I just want to hear where your confidence comes from. I don't want to hear I wasn't alive. It does not matter whether or not you were alive. I'm just saying. I don't want to hear I wasn't alive to see the Cowboys win Super Bowls. I strictly just want to know where does your confidence stem from in your head coach and in just Philly in general. And I just want to know what catapults Philly over the Dallas Cowboys as an organization as a whole, because you believe this. And sometimes to understand where somebody's come from, you may not understand it, but you have to have a peaceful conversation. So, what is it?
I feel like Dallas. This is what it is. I feel like Dallas fans are really the only organization, especially in I'm talking about all the major sports, that are stuck in the past. You look at, I mean, every other conversation I have with any other fan, yes, they don't ever bring up us not having a ring. Most like fans are stuck on their present team. Like, they don't have to rely on the past to say that y'all are better. I mean, y'all act like y'all the only team that has won 5 Super Bowls. Y'all not.
We not.
And y'all don't have the most.
I never said I was. That's why I let Pittsburgh fans have the upper
hand. The 49ers are trash and have been trash for a couple of years, but you don't hear their fans talking about we have 5 rings too.
Okay.
And I'm going to take it to the NBA. Warriors fans are just getting up. You don't hear Boston Celtics or Lakers fans come out of nowhere talking about we have 19 rings or 18 rings, 17 rings. Because, like, no one – the past really doesn't care to anybody in our generation. But in order to have something to win a argument over, you have to bring up those rings. When, like – at the end of the day, like, and people in our generation, they don't really care about it because we didn't see it. I know you say don't bring it up, but I'm not in that aspect. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but I'm just saying it's just something Dallas fans are accustomed to. That's why we don't like y'all, because y'all the only y'all aren't the only fan base to have rings, but y'all the only ones to bring them up all the time. Even New England Patriot fans rarely bring up their rings that they have won in the 2000s.
I don't know what New England fans you know. And aside from that, don't you bring up 5 NFC Championship games? And the one Super
only
Bowl?
When you bring up the 5 Super Bowls, though.
But don't you bring it up? But so regardless of what I do, because regardless of what you say, as a debater, I'm going to stick to my points. So regardless of what I say, I know that you're going to stick to your points. So even before you even see me, you're going to bring up the fact of 5 NFC Championship games. And when has making it to 5 NFC Championship games ever compared to Super Bowl rings? Ever.
I'm just saying,
and
like...
Flip it. Let's flip it. If y'all have 5 Super Bowl rings, and I know it's hard for you to do on the spot because you haven't experienced this, and this is not a shot, this is just facts. Your team has never won 5 Super Bowl rings. But if Philly had 5 Super Bowl rings, and I came in here as a Cowboys fan every single Friday and said, the Cowboys made it to 5 NFC Championship games, would it mount to a hill of beans?
Honestly,
would it mean anything?
Me being my type of fan in this day and age, if we had 5 Super Bowl rings and the last one was in '96, I wouldn't bring it up that much because I am a fan of, like, here in the moment and now. Like, I want to see. Gotcha. Like, if I can't say that I've seen, like, the success that any other team, like, if I was a Patriots fan, that's different because, like, you've seen them win the Super Bowl multiple times. Like, that, I don't see why you don't see that's the difference between being a Patriots fan at our age and being a Cowboys fan at our age.
You want to know what the difference is, Jaylen? It's because of how you grew up. See, both of us have been a fan of our respective teams since a youngin'. So you've been raised and grown up to know that your perspective has to be a tad bit different. Whereas mine is a tad bit different from yours because my team has actually experienced some success. You see what I'm saying? So if you weren't a Philly fan, if the roles were swapped, this conversation would be completely different. You'd be arguing the same thing that I'm arguing, and I'd be arguing the same thing that you're arguing. And you stick in the present day, but Jaylen, you was talking trash last year too. You were about Philly, and that was present day. Last year was present day. You were still talking trash like Philly was better than the Cowboys, and we were 11-1, and we went 13-3. And you talked a lot of trash after your team beat a team that played no starters. You did that, and that was present day. You did that. I remember it. I can pull up the show if you want me to. So I know you may come off as cordial. I done already snapped in the studio. It's apparent. I've already snapped. But some of the things that you say you would do, you haven't done. Seeing you from last year to this year is night and day. It's two completely different people. Philly went from trash to the greatest show on turf like that. And the season isn't even over.
All right, so 7-9 is not really trash.
But 8-8 is.
But I never said that.
You said this in the past. Philly fans have thrown, including you, have talked about how the Cowboys have went 8-8 3 seasons in a row.
I mean, that's just what y'all do. But 7-9, you like you said we weren't bad with Chip Kelly, right?
Y'all won 10-6 one year.
Okay, so
but you said Doug Peterson took over from the dumpster fire that Chip Kelly made.
But you act like we've been trash. Like 7-9, 7-9 was our only trash year in the last.
You haven't won a playoff game in 10 years, in 11 years.
All right, so I like how y'all look. I like how you say this. You know what I'm basically trying to say is we're equally as trash as an organization.
Don't say
right?
that, man.
But then when I say that, right, he goes back to 96 and years previous. When we are equally as trash. Like you say, y'all haven't done this, and this, but y'all haven't either since 96. You shouldn't
either, bro.
I just can't do it, Jaylen. I'm sorry. I cannot stoop down to that level because then you might actually think that we're on the same stratosphere when we're not. It's like next week, you got little kids in your family, right?
Yeah.
You do. You got a lot of them, right? What about you, Mike? You got little kids in your family? That's going to be at Thanksgiving? What about you? We all do. And Jaylen, what's going to happen is y'all going to sit down and eat. The adults are going to sit at one table because the adults have experienced life. These little innocent children are going to come into the kitchen, and they're going to sit at the kiddie table. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to you is we have a whole life. Well, we've done a lot. And so we're going to sit at the big boy table. But because you don't have a whole life up under you, you can't sit at the big boy table, regardless of how long it's been since we won them. That's just facts. You're going to sit at the kiddie table because you haven't done anything. You see what I'm saying?
All right, y'all can have what y'all have, but all right, so y'all can have what y'all, but no one respects you. That's all I'm gonna say.
No
one respects
you. You don't respect because you haven't experienced it. That's why.
Who respects
nobody?
Who respects Dallas fans?
You want to know what kills me? Dallas is the most trash, but it's a whole bunch of other teams that's trash in the league. Do we sit up here and talk about Cleveland all the time? No, nobody goes in on Cleveland. Nobody talks about how Cleveland hasn't won anything.
The only reason why Dallas is talked about is because there's so many fans on campus here.
Okay, what's the problem?
I'm just saying, you act like we're talking about them just because.
I mean, we don't talk about other trash teams, though. Ever. This has nothing to do with this show, nothing to do with this campus. The Cowboys have to be one of the most, if not the most hated team. And all people say, I don't have a problem with the players. I just got a problem with the fans. But yet I haven't met anybody that tells me what a fan is supposed to act like. And then I tell them that we all do the same exact thing. What's the problem with Cowboys fans, Jaylen? Mike, weigh in. Man, what's the problem with Cowboys fans?
Oh, hold up. Before Mike says what he's about to say. My father was born in 1965. Been a Dallas fan his whole life. So, you act like I don't know y'all's history. I know it, like, firsthand because my father is a Dallas fan. Okay. Even he says that we are trash now. He says Dallas Cowboys are not the same.
I'm not taking that away
what
from
they used to be.
That's his opinion. I'm not.
Their organization is not run the same. The way they run things is not the same. They aren't good no more. He said Dallas Cowboys are not good, and he even says y'all's generation doesn't know what Dallas Cowboys really used to be. Like he said, this is not Dallas Cowboys of what it really was back in his day. And that's why I got my opinion of our generation takes what they had and puts it in Dallas Cowboys now when it's not the same. That's like saying the Celtics now are what they were back then. It's not. It's not even close. That's it's eras.
And so your dad was born in 1965.
Yes.
Right? And he's witnessed Philly, right?
Yeah.
And what's the difference between Philly back then and Philly now? Talk to him about that, okay? Because you're going home next week, you're going to see him.
You only look at the finished product.
I'm just saying, what's the difference between Philly then and Philly now?
You only look at the finished product. You don't look at, like whoever was talking about stocks and, like, how it go. You have the up years and down years. Like, you only look at the finished product when, in, like, a real job and shit. I mean, it's stuff. You got to look at all of the development, not just. So, all right, let's say you were a business owner, right? And you took over a business and y'all haven't been the top quality in the last 20 or something years. But when y'all struggle, you just going to tell your coworkers, like, we used to be like this, so that's why we're at this standard where if we struggle nowadays, even if it's been a 20 years downhill, we still got that peak success in our company. And it's been 20 years since we were at the top. But that's, you say accepting mediocrity. That's still accepting mediocrity when you're relying on past success to validate present failures.
So what gives Philly the right to even talk? Because y'all have never experienced anything. So in this case, you shouldn't be talking. Right. Am I right? Because y'all have never experienced anything. So I shouldn't talk about the past, but you don't have a past. So that means you shouldn't even open your mouth to even part your lips to a Cowboys fan.
All right, what am I saying? We don't need 5 to be better than y'all. So when we get one,
you do.
No, we don't.
You have to catch. You have to catch.
have to catch.
You have to catch. You have to catch. You have to catch. You want to know why you say you don't have to catch? Because you don't have 5. You see, Jaylen, we will never see eye to eye because you can't come from where I'm coming from. You see what I'm saying? You can't do it because you haven't experienced it. You can't. You can't. You have to catch. You have to catch. I'm sorry. I know you can't understand it. I know it doesn't register because you aren't a Cowboys fan.
If you go,
I'm gonna let Tyback talk now.
Overall, like throughout the whole organization's time, then yeah, they have to catch. But if you're going by generational success, then no, they don't have to catch because
in my opinion,
that would put the team, the current team from this past generation, that would put them over the Dallas Cowboys. Because honestly, if you look at the NFC East as a whole, all the teams haven't been as good as like they've been in the past. Every single team they've faced looking like trash. It like they take turns being trash. Giants, Redskins, Dallas, and Philly. They all take turns being trash.
And I can buy that, Mike. Thank you. That's one of the. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's one of the smartest things I've heard today.
In my opinion,
go ahead, Mike. Let Mike finish because he's speaking facts right now.
And basically, like if you going by the past, you talk about how Giants had Lawrence Taylor, all this, or you can go back talk about the times with Justin Tuck and all of them. But if you look at them now, then it's just a byproduct of what's now. They're not doing good. They're trash. If you live in the now, you see they're trash. If you go by the past, you're gonna be like, oh, like we had this. But at the end of the day, if you want to be about, it's just 2 realms. Like if you want to be about how your team is, like as you see it now, then yeah, you can talk about how they're trash, like that. But if you want to go ahead and like say as a collective unit, we've been better. It's basically how
you look at it.
Yeah, it's basically the spectrum.
Because if Philly had 5 rings and I never seen it, I wouldn't care about it.
Well, you say that because you the way you are raised now. You it's like, I don't know, I just feel like it's kind of blasphemy to believe that you wouldn't do it because you can't experience
I can
that.
see if that point was where all my family was Philly fans, but it's not. So I wasn't raised to do anything with Philly.
So technically, because now I got to break out the technicality. I was born in October of 95. The Cowboys last won Super Bowl ring in 96. That Super Bowl was played in February. So technically, I was there to see that, guys. May not remember it, but technically I was there to see it. So, even with that, even if we subtract the previous 4, I was there to see one. What?
All right, can I say something?
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Now, I'm pretty sure there's fans out there that are Cowboys fans that don't rain on the pass like that. Just like there's probably
like my father.
Philly fans that rain on the pass, talking about like with Warren Moon and all that, basically talking about how great of a quarterback he was, all that, and now they got a good quarterback coming up. But basically, there's all different types of fans in each
fan
franchise.
base. Gotcha.
In each franchise, there's different type of fans. The thing is with Cowboys, there's more so fans that rain on the 5 rings than there is fans that basically see now that they're trash. It might be more so that the older generation sees it like that they're trash now because they lived through the golden years of their team being good. For example, if we're living through Golden State being great, a few years down the line, we're gonna be like, dang, they not the same team that they were back in the day. So basically, it's just the way you look at it. Like say if since he never really witnessed them being great, when they finally get great, he's gonna be excited. And then when they finally stop being great, he's gonna be like, he's gonna look at it the way your father did. He's gonna be like, they're not as good as when I was coming up. Just like my grandpa, he's a Steelers fan. He loved the Steelers. He was around for all when Swan and them were playing and getting rings. But he steady saying how Big Ben's trash, all this, because he's seen them have success, and now he's seeing them going down the dumps.
So in a sense, just be real, guys. Just be real. I'm open. So in a sense, I should pipe down when it relates to the Cowboys because we haven't done anything in a long time, right?
That's honestly
because if you say yes, then you know that you all accept the same fate. So think before you answer the question. So as a Cowboys fan, I should pipe down as it relates to the Cowboys because we haven't done anything significant in a long time.
I feel like it depends on the conversation. Like, if you're talking about it as a whole, then yeah, you can talk them up. But if you want to talk about, like, generational now, then you can't really boast that much about them except for the past season last year. Because other than that, they haven't really been as great because like those other times they made it to the playoffs, it was either as a wild card or like they won the division, but it wasn't as a far big lead of the division like they had last year. That's how I see it.
All right, I'm gonna say this, and this is a good example based off like our generation and the past generations. Do you feel like New England and Dallas are at the same level?
New England is one of the few teams that I feel like can really just hammer me. Because they've constantly won a lot. And they're close to the amount of rings that we have.
They have 5.
Yeah, they have 5. So, yeah, New England is one of those teams that can really, they can chop. Because, yeah, that's it. If you're going to say any team is the team of this generation, I could not say anything about
to a New England fan.
Pittsburgh and New England.
All right, but if after Brady retires, and if New England goes down,
it's trash.
Those fans are probably going to turn into how, like the fans coming up, they're probably going to turn into how y'all are, where y'all talk about Troy Aikman and all that.
They were like, well, Tom Brady was okay. It's 2030 now, boy.
But the thing is though, every team has a run. Every team has a run. Mike, you said this multiple times in your excerpt that every team has a run. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be bad. So I just talk about my good because that's what I know. But then what I just lack understanding at is where has Philly good ever been?
They've had some good moments. Like
I'm talking about like good. Like, okay, so I don't know if y'all can relate. and this is not a shot, this is just facts. Good to me is Super Bowl ring obtained. That's good. It can't be good is my team made it, because that same energy won't be reciprocated when another team makes it. Sort of like you, Jaylen. Because if y'all don't win the Super Bowl this year, the first thing you're going to say is, at least we made it. And you're going to hammer that point home no matter what. And I know this, and you know this right now. To this day, you know this. If the Cowboys don't make it, and Philly does not win the Super Bowl, but at least we made it, does it matter that you made it if you didn't win? Because that's the whole point of making it in the first place.
You said the same thing when y'all lost to Green Bay last year. When I said y'all, you were like, y'all weren't invited, though, or y'all didn't make it.
Jaylen, I think this is the difference between me and you. I'm okay with owning up. I think I'm okay with owning up to some of the stuff that I do. Okay, Jaylen? But see, the thing is, when it comes to you, you don't keep the same energy at all times. Now, me, you know I'm on 500 every time. You, on the other hand, Cowboys do something, luck, BS, yada, 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 is different. But when Philly do something, Philly had to go through all of this. Philly is so great. What's the difference? What's the difference between Philly and Dallas the past 2 years? What's the difference? What is the difference?
I feel like we're just more balanced than y'all were last year. Like, y'all really relied on Zeke a lot. And he was nasty. But I feel like a lot of those wins, like, you could really just point it at Zeke. But if you look at Philly's record right now, there's not one thing you could point at as to why we're 8-1. It's it's not one dimensional. Like you can look at Dallas like last year and be like, if we stop Zeke, we can beat him.
Did y'all do it?
I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the playoffs.
Nobody really did it. I don't think it was necessarily beating Zeke or stopping Zeke. I think it was really getting up big on us.
I'm about to say,
and let's keep it real. It's the defense that's the problem. Now, if that's what you're talking about as far as balance, then yes, y'all overall the team, y'all have a defense a little bit. You know, we won't really get a chance to test that till week 17. The defense and you know, as far as the offense, I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, your defense is okay. The offense is pretty good, but we have to see. But my thing is, last year, you were really big on there is no way Dak Prescott can lead the team to a Super Bowl when he has no playoff experience.
Because I didn't
And now the shoe is on the other foot. And Carson Wentz has no playoff experience. How is that different? How?
I know you don't see it, but Zeke carried the offense last year.
How is it different? Playoff experience, regardless of who's carrying who. Zeke didn't have zero playoff experience. Dak didn't have zero playoff experience. Jay Ajayi has zero playoff experience. But Carson Wentz, with no playoff experience, is supposed to be leaps and bounds ahead of everybody and win the Super Bowl in his second year. How? What makes Carson Wentz the golden child?
I don't.
Hold on, pause. Prepare yourself for the most BS you've ever heard in the history of the final score. Go ahead.
Do you not? I really like detail inspect players with no bias. If you don't see that Carson Wentz looks like just a better quarterback as a whole than Dak,
I don't know. I think Jaylen, right now, for both me and you, we want that instant satisfaction of this debate of Dak versus Carson Wentz. Well, honestly, it's going to take the whole career to play out. Okay, you're not going to get it before you graduate. I'm not going to get it before I graduate. It's going to take the whole career to play out, almost like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Yes.
That's just how it is. It's going to take a little time to play out. But for staying in the present today, I can't necessarily say that Dak is not better than Carson Wentz. And
because
that's not being
he's
biased.
been in the playoffs.
No. We can look at the stats. They've actually
I seen the stat.
No, I seen the
stats. I seen the stats.
I don't have to reply to see.
No.
But he gonna pull it up anyway.
I'm pulling it up regardless. Now, through the 25 games, right? Dak, 18 wins. 748 pass attempts, 66 completion percentage, 5,661 yards, 39 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 101.6 pass rate, and 11 rushing touchdowns. Carson Wentz, through 25 games, 15 wins, 898 pass attempts, 61.8 completion percentage, 6,044 yards, 39 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, 87.3 pass rate, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Now, we taking bias out. We just looking at the stats. What gives Carson Wentz the right to say he's better than Dak?
The only thing that you could possibly say is because Cowboys had a dual threat. They have more of a premier running back than the Eagles do. I'm not saying like you could look at the stats and try and say like Dak's better. I think they're more on a more even playing field than the stats show because you could say the interceptions have Dak looking better, but Dak had
a well-balanced running game.
He threw 100 passes less too, and he's only like 400 yards away.
All right, because I know y'all trying to attack Zeke and saying we got a better running game. Okay, I give you that. Now, who was the running backs last year?
For who?
Eagles.
Ryan Matthew.
And Darren Sproles, right?
Yes.
Now, when Ryan Matthews and Darren Sproles ran the Eagles to 10-6, these running backs were very adequate. Am I right?
They were mostly.
It was adequate, right?
Who?
When Philly went 10-6.
But did they run though?
It wasn't adequate. We didn't talk about the run game of Philly being so trash then.
We never had a run game since Brian Westbrook and LaShawn McCoy.
But I'm just saying though.
It's not the same.
I'm just I don't know because I just don't feel like. I mean, yeah,
Zeke is a runner. You can't put Darren Sproles and Zeke in the same conversation.
So Darren Sproles and Ryan Matthews didn't provide y'all with the tad bit of running game. I feel like y'all just didn't choose to run, but you did have the personnel because, I mean,
I don't think Darren Sproles even had 1,000 rushing yards in a season in his whole career.
What I've come to understand is because we overtime for one. Secondly, I could talk till I'm blue in the face. I've brought the stats to you all. These are facts. This is taking out my bias. No. I'm not putting all my marbles in this one game on Sunday because we're not full strength.
But
now,
it's still.
I just don't feel like that's Carson. Fair because you said that Dak had a better season because he had a better surrounding. Dak had a better surrounding than Carson Wentz, right?
So does Carson have a better surrounding now than Dak?
Without our All-Pro left tackle and without our running back, yes, he does. But if we have those two guys there, y'all stand a chance. It's a very close game, but I really feel like
What you was about to say is how you feel. We don't stand a chance. Because you think we're garbage. You think we are trash.
Look. I really do think y'all are a solid team. Y'all will compete with us for the duration of Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz's career. But what we not about to do is act like you didn't crucify Cowboys last year in the midst of a winning streak and you didn't provide any type of respect and then expect me to come in here and act like Philly is the mecca of football.
It's not
it won't happen. The stats are right here. This is without bias. This is what it is. But accept it. This is it.
But look, I'm not putting bias. I'm saying that if you look at those stats, you're gonna say Dak is better. What I'm trying to say is that they're on more of an even playing field because if the defense are looking to stop more so Carson Wentz, when defense are looking at Dallas, they're looking to stop Dak and Zeke. So that
mainly Zeke last year because they were stacked the box with 8 people.
There's more likely going to be less interceptions for Dak because he does. They can think that they're about to run, but then Dak can pass it. You know what I'm saying? The add of the threat is what's making it.
But when you play Philly, it's like Carson's gonna throw regardless. They don't have no other option. He's gonna throw, so the defense can scheme around that more. When the Cowboys is like, dang, Dak can run, he can throw, Zeke can run. So it's easy to protect.
Dak can run, man.
I mean, honestly,
I feel what you're saying. But it's like at the end, he threw 100 less passes. and he's only 400 yards away from catching them. Through 16 less picks. They got the same amount of touchdowns. He rushed for a lot more rushing touchdowns. I think Dak is a lot more versatile. Yeah, he's more. He has more. So with that being said, I would say that Dak is better than Carson Wentz.
Then he should show it. He should show it on Sunday.
I mean,
I feel what you're.
But come on, dog. Jalen, keep it real. If your quarterback catch the ball and it's a linebacker in his face as soon as he catch it, is that not an issue?
So I have a question.
Regardless of talent, is that not an issue?
It is.
Okay.
So would you say that? But if you're looking at those numbers, would you say MVP Cam is better than MVP Tom Brady? Because if you're going
I don't know.
That, you say you would?
I don't know. I'd have to see the stats.
But what I'm saying is you're talking about like the running makes him more versatile, and you say that makes him better than. Oh
well, yeah, I see what you're saying. Probably, I mean.
That's what I'm asking. Like,
you would still have to see the numbers though. Yeah.
They're still on like an equal playing field to where
I get what you're saying.
This is my thing, right?
That's facts.
It's not the stats. It's not none of this. It's just that I know how it would be carried if Jalen was debating my point. I just know that it would be different. If Carson Wentz had Dak stats and Dak had Carson Wentz stats, you would say that Carson Wentz is better, and I know that you would. But you won't. And you won't admit that your argument would change because you don't want to look bad. But it's okay. But I know that Jalen, sometimes his energies flip-flop all the time. I know this. Last year, Jalen, you were a completely different guy.
But did y'all have more talent than us last year offensively?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, there's no...
Yeah.
It's yes.
Yeah.
But
the fact that he's a 4th-round draft pick and had
now
to learn how to do this, I don't know, maybe...
Oh, so now that he's a 4th-round draft pick.
He's always been a 4th-round draft
pick.
But
But you can't use that as...
He's always been a 4th-round draft pick.
If he struggles, you can't just be like, oh, well, he was a 4th draft pick.
No, I'm not saying that as a reason, but I think the fact that last year, first off, he got the starting position late to begin with. He got it late. He's a 4th-round draft pick, and then he had to come take over for Tony Romo and just learn how to do everything on the fly. He didn't have the whole offseason like Carson Wentz did to get those starter reps. And Carson Wentz was also a number 2 draft pick.
All right. So Dallas is 5-4. One of them losses was because of the left tackle. But he lost 3 games before that.
What? Did you watch the games?
I'm just saying game. I'm saying strictly that game. You could see where we lost.
Yeah,
which is the tackle. Which I'm saying is if we had a solid tackle, you know what I mean, it would have been a different game.
And if you watch the other 3 games that we lost, you can see that Dak Prescott didn't lose those games. But I know that you don't have the type of time to take a look at it. But if you don't know, being that we lack balance on our defensive end of the ball, Sean Lee was hurt. He's hurt very often, but in a couple of those games, matter of fact, the 3 that we lost, the reason why we lost because the defense didn't hold water with a mason jar. That's why we lost. It wasn't Dak's fault.
So if we beat y'all, don't change nothing about Philly.
No, I mean, it is what it is, but I was just saying, like, the reason we lost last week is because the line is there. And I'm saying if we had a solid line.
But if y'all win, it's still, y'all better keep the same energy as if we win.
No, Jalen, see, what happens is, this is what happens, Jalen.
If we win, y'all garbage.
If y'all win,
the way that I act,
garbage, but if we win, y'all aren't garbage.
The way that I act,
I mean, y'all win, but I'm gonna just say, like, if y'all win and you beat us, you would say we garbage. So if we win and we beat y'all and you saying we're garbage this whole time, all the stuff you've been saying, we don't have a line, we don't have Zeke, we don't have this, we don't have that. If we win, y'all are garbage.
And Jalen,
because we don't have Zeke, we don't have a line, we don't have Sean Lee. So if y'all lose, y'all are garbage.
I could say we don't have our left tackle or our starting middle linebacker.
You could go ahead, but y'all have y'all dominant weapons.
Jalen,
do y'all not?
The reason why I carry you the way that I do is because when it's flipped, you carry everything. You show no sign of respect. You called an 11-game win streak luck and BS every game. You are the only fan to do that, regardless of how irrational and radical a Cowboys fan may be. You did that. And so You don't like the fact that Philly is carried with that same energy.
We're not gonna lose though. It don't even matter.
You shouldn't expect to lose if two of the best players on the offense are out.
See, this is what I'm saying. You having all this confidence, like you better not lose. If y'all lose, y'all are garbage. Like,
hey, this game.
Hey, I hope y'all
me,
don't,
man.
Me,
honestly,
I really hope y'all don't, man.
The game doesn't matter. Y'all got bigger fish to fry, and if you don't cook those fish, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we the least of y'all concerned now.
It's over. It's over, Jaylen. I'm telling you. You might not even want me to. You might not even want to invite me to your graduation cookout because I'm telling you, it's over. It's over. I'm gonna crucify you. I'm telling you, if y'all don't win that Super Bowl, I'm crucifying you. You got anything to say? Because we need to close this gen out.
Nah.
That's the final score. I know it was crazy on this end today. Mike, Quan, thank y'all for coming through. My name is Trey.
My name is Jay.
And that's the final score.